me start the recording again. Okay. So, for example, if this is the text and it is the quotation of direct quote of Qaid-e-Azam and it is more than 3 to 4 lines and you want to emphasize it, so the technique is going to be that you're going to select the text, you're going to click this, right? And then you can see this indentation. You can go towards the indentation and you would increase the indentation, right? When you increase the indentation, can you see how this becomes towards the end, towards the mid of the text, in the mid? So this is emphasis for the direct quotation through positioning, but we don't put inverted commas when we are emphasizing through this technique. However, when we have it in the when you have it in the text, which is which through which you are not emphasizing through positioning like this, and you are directly quoting it within the paragraph, so you put it in inverted commas. So either way, you're going to do through one technique. That is, either you will put it into inverted commas or you will increase the indentation, right? Increase the indentation like this. I hope it's clear so far, uh, emphasizing by positioning. Is it clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Here
ma'am.
we have some example of uh, in positioning. You can read these examples. I guess I've already explained it to you well. So the same examples, you can read it by yourself. The rest is, I hope, clear to you. Okay, emphasizing by repetition. Although if you remember, I've told you that we emphasize through verbal, that is spoken. Emphasis is also there, and we through spoken emphasis um, we do it through the techniques like intonation and stress. We emphasize things through intonation and stress. However, there is one more technique which is used both in verbal and written, both in oral and written communication, and that is repetition, right? For example, when I'm talking to you all and I want to emphasize something, I would repeat it twice and thrice. Automatically, it will be emphasized. For example, when we are trying to target someone, you listen to me, right? You're repeating twice, right? Or for example, even in Urdu and Pashto, we do it when it is spoken. tum tum kahan ja rahe ho, right? So you just say twice, you repeat things. Same is the case when it comes to academic writing, that in written communication, we also use emphasizing technique, and that is through repetition. And you would have seen that in different novels that you have read, in different texts that you have read, in poetry that you have read, in all that, you see that there is emphasis by repetition. Have you ever seen that they repeat the same words again and again in order to emphasize something? For example, the example that you can see over here, I want her to live, I want her to breathe. So when you're emphasizing, you sometimes repeat the things again and again. However, this emphasis technique is used in formal writing, may be used in formal writing in, for example, newspapers, but in academic writing, we normally avoid repetition of the same words or same sentences again and again. I hope it's clear to you all. Repetition in academic writing is avoided. For example, in your research papers or in your research articles, in research proposal, you will not repeat the same thing again and again because it is considered as redundant, right? But in formal writing, for example, you're writing a novel, you're writing an article, newspaper article, newspapers, or any um, any other uh, any other uh, any other thing that you're writing for, for pleasure writing, you try to use emphasizing by repetition, right? Both in verbal as well as in non-verbal communication. I hope it's clear. or should I repeat it?
No, ma'am, it's there.
Clear? Okay, good. Go
Okay.
ahead. Good. Now, this is not the last technique, but the last technique in a sense that we have already discussed the other two techniques, that is sentence structure and the mechanical means, right? Through colors and all that. So we have already discussed that. So this is the last technique of emphasis that we have. So we have in total of 5 techniques, and this is the technique that we have when we use it, emphasis by space. So, uh, if you remember, I told you emphasis by positioning. So, emphasis by positioning and emphasis by space are more or less similar in a sense that by giving space to text, right, bringing it in a place where uh, it is considered as more important. So, for example, if I want to emphasize the moral of the story, and if I write it in a text where it is where it is not towards the end, towards the end in the center, you will not be able to identify it. uh, when you people write applications, you write this thanking you in anticipation, or I shall be highly obliged towards the after the space, right, or in the next line. The reason is that you're done saying what you want to say in one paragraph, where the main points are stated, the reasons are stated, and then you are thanking someone, and you bring it to the next line in order to emphasize it, that this is something. Or if you see, we give headings of the subject of the application. So we give heading to the subject because as in it is given space, one space before, one space below, so that it is emphasized. If you want to emphasize anything, you have to give space. If I give you an example over here, you'll see that right now you can see everything clear. Like these are the 3 points that we are discussing. But if I do it like this, would you be able to know that we are discussing 3 points? Would you be able to know that we are discussing 3 points?
No, ma'am.
No, right? Why? Because we emphasized all these 3 points that we are discussing through giving proper space, right? So when we give space, we are actually emphasizing what point are we discussing. See, if you can see like this, we have this clarity over here that this is the way we emphasize this. These are the 3 points that we are discussing, and same goes for the stop drawing. Who is drawing? Stop it. uh, Same goes uh, for the text as well, in academic writing as well. So for example, if we are if in the text you think that see, when you're trying to focus or emphasize any point, for example, if I want to emphasize this contrasting and supporting point, I will take it the to the place where it's in the beginning. So I am using two techniques, that is emphasizing by space and emphasizing by position, both, and saying that all these 3 points are important, but contrasting and supporting is more important because it's in the beginning, right? We bring definitions, we always state definitions in the beginning, and that's how we emphasize them. So I hope this is clear to you all, emphasizing by space as well as emphasizing by positioning and emphasizing by repetition. Is it clear, or should I repeat?
Yes,
Clear.
yes, ma'am. But can we use it in formal writing or in academic writing?
You can use it both in formal writing as well as in academic writing. Emphasizing by space is done through formal, and because in emphasizing by space, we already have um, standard spacing techniques that we use in academic writing, right? Standard spacing technique is that we have this It's not here, it would be in Word document. It's like we have, remember I told you that we have 2 line spacing in the in the lines that we are writing. So everything has appropriate place, and it is emphasized based on the standard that we follow in academic writing, right? And we can also use it in formal writing as well. Claire, Temur.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I hope I can share the assignment with you just to discuss. Any question? See, these are the techniques of mechanics which we have already discussed. That is italics, underline, bold. So we have already discussed them, right? We have already discussed all these in our in our class. Whose mic is on? Switch it off, please. Hamza, do you want to ask a question? You have raised your hand. No?
Ma'am, would you like to summarize the lecture, because some of the students were not at the time because of the network connection. They joined the class later on.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I'll summarize it. Plus, I am going to upload this on YouTube, and then I'll share the link with you all. So you all will be able to, listen to the same lecture again. Right?
Yes, ma'am. That's great.
Okay, first let me just discuss this assignment with you all. I'll share the assignment and I'll tell you how you'll upload the assignment, right? Because I'm left with only 6 minutes in the class session, right?
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
let me share it with you all. Can you see the assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the assignment says that this is the question, right? You have to write an argumentative paragraphs, 2 or 3 in your own words, right? On this topic, that is errors in any sphere are unavoidable. Do doctors, judges, and teachers have the right to make mistakes? So if I commit a mistake, I'm a human being. Do I have the right to commit a mistake? Or doctors are human beings as well, judges are human beings as well, and we are prone to committing mistakes, right? So are mistakes justifiable, or are we allowed to commit mistakes, or no, we have no space for committing mistakes? This is the question, right? You have to write it in your own words. Do not copy. I'm going to check the plagiarism of each assignment. Okay, so write it in your own words and do not use any other technique to dodge me. The emphasis that you're going to use, anywhere if you're emphasizing something, anywhere if you're emphasizing some point, you have to highlight it in blue, yellow, green, gray, or pink through these ways. So if you're emphasizing it through position, you will highlight it through blue. If you're emphasizing something through repetition, you will highlight it through yellow. If you're emphasizing something through space, you will highlight it through green. If you're emphasizing something through sentence structure and words, you're emphasize if you're highlight you'll highlight it in gray, and mechanical means you'll highlight it in pink. Clear? So when you are done writing the 2-3 paragraphs, you are going to highlight it in those colors so that I may know that you have used these techniques over there in those sections. Clear? Is the assignment clear to you all?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is your assignment. Get done with it. You still have half hour. It won't take a lot of time. So just write the assignment. It's not necessary that you'll use all these techniques, but at least try to use all of them once in your writing. If you're unable to use any one of them, that's fine, right? But try to use the techniques. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me summarize what I actually did. We already have discussed these are the 5 techniques of emphasis by position, repetition, space, sentence structure and words, and mechanical means. Mechanical means and sentence structure we have already done in the class, so I've not repeated them. And we were left with space, repetition and position and space are more or less similar. And in positioning, I have told you that when we are emphasizing something through positioning, we bring it in the beginning or towards the end. For example, introduction of the essay or conclusion, or for example, abstract of the research article and conclusion of the article. Although we are not saying that uh, whatever is placed in the center is not important, whatever is placed in the center is also important, but we're trying to emphasize by position, by bringing something which is more important in the text in the beginning and towards the end of the text, whatever you are writing, right? So it may be a unit, it may be a chapter, it may be anything. It can be uh, it can be an assignment as well, an essay as well, right? Then emphasizing by position, I've already explained it to you that we bring it towards the mid. When we have direct quotations, we put them in inverted commas, and when they are more than 3 to 4 lines, we bring them in the mid. This also comes in space as well, right? We did it through repetition as well. That is, we repeat the words or similar words in order to emphasize something. For example, I want her to live, I want her to breathe. So we are trying to emphasize something over here. I want her is the emphasis. If you see, it's parallelism over here. Technique that is used is parallelism. And then space, I guess, Taimur, you people were there when I was discussing space. So I hope it's concluded. I'm left with 1 minute in this session. And that's all for today. If there is any question, please. Any question? Any question?
Thank you,
No,
ma'am. But ma'am, we want to share these slides with us.
Slides are already uploaded on LMS.
Thank you, ma'am.
Already uploaded on LMS, okay? And
Thank you.
the lecture that I've recorded, previously for the previous session is already there. And YouTube link is also given, but I'm also going to give a new link of this session as well, right? I hope Hamza's question is clear that we use two line spacing. Yes. Okay. So goodbye and Allah Hafiz, and do your assignment in time, okay? If you have any
Okay,
questions,
ma'am, and
you
Eid
can
Mubarak.
to you all too. If you have any question, you can ask me through queries, okay?